This book treats a very important topic that generally becomes clear to a player after he passes a certain level. The topic is the fact that sometimes you have to give up something that is more important or something more valuable for something that seems less valuable just to win the game. What does this mean? For example, the rook is 5, right? Generally, they tell us, the rook is like $5. And generally, you wouldn't sacrifice a rook on something that is $3 like a bishop. But sometimes you, depending on the needs of the position, you need to do it. Because that bishop or that even pawn you are sacrificing on, it's a problem that you need to solve. And the only way to solve it is through giving up that material and opening a line or creating an attack that maybe will succeed if you calculate it correctly. The book is very interesting because obviously the author did his homework with this big set of chapters that starts obviously from opening files, opening close positions, opening diagonals. It's very important. So this is also if you don't want to solve the positions that are given exercises in this book, just to be exposed to this material will open your mind to a lot of possibilities that you didn't see before. And then, of course, after you have the final chapters that are training material. Okay? So this is very important. And this is the back of the book, which also tell you about the author. And now I would like to show you some of the games. So I'm going to show game number 3, which is a part of the topic of opening lines in Please Play. By the way, the book has something like more than 100 games and like 50 exercises, so there is plenty of material to study. Game number 3 is between Ivan Sarich and Sasa Martinovic. It was played in Valpovo 2017. E4, E6, D4, D5, Knight C3, Knight F6. The classical French is an important battlefield in modern chess. The traditional view is that white should be at least somewhat better based on his space advantage, but black's position contains many hidden dynamic resources. E5, Knight F D7, F4, C5, Knight F3, Bishop E7. It is more common to start with Knight C6. But often that just transposes. Bishop E3, castle, Queen D2, Knight C6, and D takes C5. Now, instead of D takes C5, it says that 9 long castle is a well-known opening mistake, since black now closes the position with C4. Okay, so imagine that. If the book also teach you about mistakes that are not material, but about closing the position. Followed by sacrificing a pawn with b7, b5 to open the b file against the white king. Black then gets excellent attacking chances. Okay, so don't play long castle, but play d takes c5. Queen a5. And now there is a long castle. Okay. There is an important alternative here in this position, which is a3, because in this way you are delaying long castle. And this is important because sometimes you don't want to let your opponent know where to attack. And so that's kind of important. But, however, the white player, Ivan Saric, is a grandmaster with a rating of 2600. So obviously, if he played this, he is aware of 10 a3. So this is also the reality of it. b6, and this is given an exclamation point and the following comment. Instead of taking back the pawn, black prefers to sacrifice one. This was first played by Volkov in 2009 and then took a few years to catch on. Very strange because in 2009 they really had already chess base, so I doubt that the game was not known, especially to chess players that play the French. The purpose is to open files against the white king and start a direct attack, but its abstract long-term nature makes it a fantastic positional pawn sacrifice. Bishop b5. And now there is another beautiful move. Eventually, when I give you a hint like there is another beautiful move, you can pause the video and try to guess it by yourself, right? Like if you were playing black. Black plays knight b4. This confident knight jump was an important novelty at the time. In 2017, there must have been several people waiting for the chance to play it. I remember analyzing it when it was still unknown with my friend Steve Berger from Berlin. Very interesting. Because we are move 11, so and this is the French opening that is kind of very, very played. It's very known. It's nothing new. A3, questioning the knight. And now, once more, please pause the video. What would you play if you were black? Okay. B takes c5, exclamation point, the same theme as in the previous game. So also in game 2 there was a similar theme. Now on the other wing, sacrificing a piece for an open file in a relatively positional manner. What does white play? Bishop takes d7, which is considered a mistake from the author. White is going to accept the challenge by taking the piece, which turns out to be very risky. The main line of my analysis with Steve ran as follows. Instead of this, here there is a line. I will not show it to you because it becomes kind of boring. It started with king b1 and it finished at move 21. Clearly you have to prepare because I doubt that in a tournament game you analyze like 8 moves because that would take 1 hour probably, so not a good idea. Bishop takes d7, bishop takes d7, a takes b4, c takes b4, and the knight b1. White remains a piece up this way, but now the true nature of black's sacrifice is revealed. With calm, natural moves, he increases the pressure and automatically keeps his compensation. Rook f c8. And this is a type of move that we find also in the Sicilian, right? In the Sicilian there is this occupation of a c file to attack the white king. Rook d f1, which is considered a mistake by the author of the book. After this move, white's defense became rather problematic. Subsequent tournament practice adds focus on 16 knight fd4 or knight d4. And here there is an analysis of this move, okay? So, rook d f1. So he's trying to counter-attack on the king side. Queen a2. Black now simply wants to push his a pawn down the board. This may take a while, but there is not much white can do about it. And now white continues with f5. So also white is trying to open the lines and to attack the f7 pawn probably. and attempt to create counterplay. He takes f5, knight d4, a5, and queen d3. Here there is an analysis of what would happen if white would play this, but the conclusion is that white is paralyzed, so not the good move we would think it is. So after queen d3, he continues with a4. The march of the pawns obviously goes up to attack the king. I think by this point we see that black is kind of very advanced, and it will be obviously faster than white in his attack. Knight takes f5, bishop takes f5, and queen takes f5. And now here there is a diagram. Like always in a book, if the author puts you a diagram, you guys need to pause and think, what would you play? So in this position, you are black, what would you play? A3, exclamation point. Black does not need to waste time defending f7, since there is too much hanging at white's side. Okay. Well, in fact, the problem is that the back rank is not really weak, because there are two rooks plus this that control f8. So obviously, yeah, not really weak. f3, it's obvious move. Bishop d4, queen c4, obviously the threat is on c2, and this queen is the only one protecting it. Rook f4, and bishop g5. Beautiful move, right? Now, why that bishop cannot be taken? Because there is the checkmate here. Okay. If it takes, the protector of this is gone. So that's why he played that. Bishop e3, bishop takes f4, bishop takes f4, and g6 is the last move of the game, after which it seems white resigned. Yeah, but obviously a beautiful game, very fast game, just 25 moves, so it's what is considered a miniature. If you want to see more games from different chapters from this beautiful book, feel free to let me know in the comments, and I will be very happy to show you more stuff from this great book.